Very good, very nice. Hello, chicken nugget. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Oh my God, it's been a while, isn't it? I hope you're all well and you've been involved in all things bushcraft in my absence. Took me a lot to get out here today. I've been humming and hawing about making a video for quite some time, and you know, every time I just make it this big logistical nightmare in my head where I have to go and have everything that I've got and every camera angle going. And I just talk myself out of it because it just becomes such a big production in my head that it all has to be fancy dancy with multiple camera angles and everything that I've got that, you know, I never bother coming out. So it's an absolute glorious spring day. You see the blue skies. I mean, it's not massively hot, it's 8 degrees, so a bit of a chill in the air. But I'm dressed for winter, so I'm absolutely roasting, as usual. And do you know what? I just thought I'd come out to the woods for a couple of hours and do something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. You know, it's springtime and everything's coming to life in the forest. Woods, forest, I don't know. And I saw in a recent video by TA Outdoors, who I watch that channel all the time. I'm sure all of you do as well. It was one of his top 10, obviously didn't pay that much attention, did I? Top 10 bushcraft, let's just say top 10 bushcraft skills. And in that, he tapped some birch tree for some sap. And that happens at this time of year because the sap is being drawn up from the ground to provide energy for the leaves to grow and for the tree to come out of hibernation. I've never done that before, and birch is one of my favourite trees. You'll have seen in my past videos I use it a lot for firelighting. I've also harvested the fungus and made birch polypore tea out of that. So, you know, for me, it's the tree that keeps on giving. And I've always wanted to tap a birch tree just to give it a go and give it a bit of a taste to see what it tastes like. I'm in part of the woods today that I don't generally come, so not familiar with it, but I have already walked past quite a few birch trees. Although we seem to be in more of a sort of a beachy type area at the moment, so I might need to go back. And I just plan to have a quick coffee, show you a couple of items that I don't think I've shown on the channel before, and then, you know, tap that birch tree and see if I can get myself a drink before I go home. So hopefully you'll all stay with me for the however long I'm out here and enjoy the journey. And you know, it's good to see you again. So I found a little area here that has got 2 or 3, maybe more birch trees in it. And there's a massive one just here. Don't know if you can see that in the camera, you probably can. But there's a couple of smaller ones in this sort of clearing amongst this hazel. I think that's a beech tree, not 100% sure. Which one to choose? There is a lovely little tree stump here that I could sit down on and have a coffee. But it's right next to the public path just running along there, and I have already just seen a lady and a man walking their dog. So do I want to be this exposed out in the open? Yes, let's do it. Leave no trace, yeah? This is the first little thing. Filming on my iPhone today, so apologies if the quality's a bit rubbish. Although it is the iPhone 13, so upgraded especially for that. This is the first little item I've not shown on the channel. It's a little canvas foraging pouch. Never used it actually. And this just clips to the belt that I've got. Or slides in, I should say, not clip. And actually, I already foraged some birch bark, which you've seen in an earlier clip. And I don't know why I didn't have this on, because I probably should have just put it in there. But that's why I brought it. Oh, you bugger. Medic! Couple of thorns in my hand. Cheers, mate. Okay, let's get this on. And the second item that I brought today is hidden beneath my attire. I think I talked about this maybe on my last video or the video before, but I've still yet to use it. It's a little neck knife, a Mora knife, light duty this one is. And this is what I'm going to use to pierce the bark on the birch tree and see if I can get underneath that layer for the sap to start dripping out. So first things first, I need to make like a little, I don't know what it's called. Mike did, if you want any of the actual if you want any of the actual stuff that you should be learning, or that this isn't an instructional video by any shape or means, this channel was always made for me to just come and bumble about in the woods. So if you want to learn how to do this professionally, go and watch Mike or someone else on YouTube that knows what they're doing. I've just got a camera here capturing me bumbling about in the woods, trying to, you know, amuse myself, I guess, and to learn a few skills myself. So yeah, caveat before you get in the comments and start slating me for this, that or the other. I don't know what I'm doing. I just make it up, right? I watch stuff on YouTube and I think I like to have a go at that. So that's why we're here today. So the first thing I need to make is like a little, I'll call it like a stent or like a tube that goes underneath the bark, and that's what allows the sap to drip down into a little container, which I'm gonna then strap to the tree. So let's find one of them first. Stop clicking your fingers, Andy. Go. So I was just about to make the stick for the birch tap for the tree over there, and I came across a little wild edible that I was reading about yesterday in my book that I got for Christmas last year, I think it was. So yeah, let's have a look at it while we're at it. So this little plant here is called primrose, and actually the leaves and the flowers are edible. Never tried it before. Pretty little flower, one of the first ones to come out in spring, I think. Beautiful. Let's give it a taste. So I was just about to say I'm getting nothing from that. I can't really taste it at all. And then right at the end, almost like a little perfumey type taste. And apparently you can make wine out of these. Meh. Anyway, let's get back to the birch tapping. So I've got myself a little stick. I'm just going to take the bark off it. Because apparently that's where any infection can lie. And we don't want to introduce that into the tree. I mean, I'm just repeating what I heard on TA Outdoors. Me and Mike, we go way back. And when I say way back, I mean I've been watching his videos for about 3 years. He doesn't know who I am. Apologies if the camera's a bit wobbly. I'm holding it in my knees while I'm trying to show you what I'm doing in my hands. I didn't bring my tripod today. I just brought a little handheld one. So, I think that should do it, roughly. Oh, cramp in my leg. Oh, getting old, man. So I think this should do it, and I'm just going to make a little incision in the birch bark, and then stick this in as a little plug, and hopefully it will then drip out into a little cup that I've got prepared. So let's get that bit done. So I've chosen the big birch tree. Mainly just because it's big. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but I'm assuming it's going to have a lot of sap going in right up to the top of there. And I've chosen this little area on the tree because it's nice and flat, and actually it's in a bit of a concave, so cup should fit quite nicely in there. I'm just going to make a little incision here. Let's see if I can do it with holding the camera as well. Bear with. Oh, I don't know if that actually captured. I'm just pushing my knife up into the bark. Then I'm just going to stick the little stick that I made earlier up into that. And let's just see if it drips. I'll get back to you. It could be a while. So the first tap that I put in didn't work. I did a quick bit of Googling search and I think I might not have been deep enough. So I've come to one of this younger trees and I've just punched a little hole in it. It said it needed to be about 2 centimeters deep. And it said if the tree is ready, you should immediately start seeing the sap dripping. So put the knife in, put it a little bit deeper and put my little stent stick in, and you can see now that's dripping away. So let's not waste time. Let's get a cup, string it to the tree, and then hopefully in an hour or so, after a brew, we'll have a lovely drink. Perfect. So that'll just drip away. Although, I've just discovered that I must have taken the little pot out that exists in this big pot, which is the one I was going to use to collect the water, the sap, sorry. And then I was going to use this one to boil the kettle and have a brew. Oh, nothing ever goes right on this channel, does it? Oh well, see what happens. I think moment of truth time. There's certainly enough in there for me to have at least a mouthful or two. So, I don't need to take any more than the tree than I need just to try it. So, I'm going to remove the tap now. I'll push that closed just to help it heal itself. And it should close up and heal itself fine. And yeah, let's get the cup off the tree. And hopefully have definitely pressed record here so that you can see what's going on. Well, it's a funny colour. It's like a browny sort of colour. I was expecting it to be a bit more clear than that. Looks like it's got a bit of bark and stuff in it as well. Lovely. Cheers. It's quite cool actually. I wasn't expecting it to be that cold. Refreshing. Tastes a tiny bit like the Birch Polypore tea that I had that time, but far less bitter. There's no like stringent sort of bitter taste in it. Quite pleasant. Yeah, success. Cheers. Don't think I've shown this on the channel before. It's a perfect little bag for the alcohol stove. I can't remember the guy's name who makes them, but what I'll do is I'll find his Instagram and put it in the link below in case any of you want to buy that. They've been featured in Simon, A Bloke in the Woods channel quite a lot. He's got quite a few of the different bags made by this gentleman. Very good quality, perfect size for the alcohol stove. Just get one already. Nearly there, didn't take long. So what's next for Steelman Outdoors on the channel? Well, as it happens, next week is Easter weekend. And I've got the Friday and Monday off, and I've actually booked the Tuesday off as well. So what I'm hoping to do is something that's been on my sort of bucket list for bushcrafting, hiking, wild camping for quite some time. That's to go and do some coastal wild camping. Nearest coast to me, I think, is probably East Coast, which is like Hunstanton type way. But I really want to go down to the Jurassic Coast, so assuming I can get hold of some diesel because all the pumps have run dry at the moment, I might just make that journey on Sunday and use some of the kit that I've had in my cupboard for 2 years that I bought especially for wild camping in the winter, you know, and really try and make a good video out of that. So thanks very much for joining me today. We'll call it a success. I managed to get a drink of birch sap, so yeah, happy with that. Thanks for joining me. Liam from Jersey, this one was especially for you. Cheers for everyone for tuning in. Take care of each other, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.